So who are we as a community? It was a significant question many considered last week after the shooting at the Boise Mall. It killed 2 members of our community. That question was raised again 2 days later after another shooting in downtown Boise, this one involving a police officer. We heard this phrase a lot over the last week. This isn't who we are. This isn't the community we recognize. Others sent questions asking, is this the new Boise? Have we changed for the worse? Joe Paris sat down with Boise Police Chief Ryan Lee for perspective on both of these incidents, the perception of safety in our community, and the crime data that might tell a different story than you might expect.
In the span of a few days last week, you have the traumatic incident at the mall that was tough for the entire community. You then have an officer-involved shooting in downtown, and then the Ada County Sheriff's Office has to deal with a man reportedly who was shooting out of his car while he's driving, and then they have a standoff with him, near the airport. It's a very difficult week, and a popular comment we received was, "This isn't Boise. What's happening to our town?" And I know that some people say, "Well, let's ask the chief of police. What is he going to do about this?" And I guess, to summarize the question, is this the Boise that we live in, or is it one bad week?
Well, I think the easy answer is it's one bad week. The reality of the matter is if you sit down and you look at the crime stats, both crime in general, downward trajectory, but particularly violent crime, that type of crime that grabs our attention, that sort of shocks the conscious, that's on a downward trend. If I compare it to 2017, so just rewind the clock 5 years, we're down well over 1,000 violent crime reported instances year to date. If I compare this year with 2017, we're down every year. It's still declining. Overall crime is good. When I compare us to comparable cities like Salt Lake City, Spokane, Reno, places that many of us have probably visited or have family in, our crime rate is much better than the crime rate in any of those cities. It's an incredibly safe community, but I recognize that it's part of the human condition that we notice bad things. It helps keep us alive, right? We're hardwired to do that. And when we have traumatic events that occur back to back, it gives this sense that it's not safe, that we're afraid. The reality of it in the full context is this is still an incredible community. The relationships that the officers have built with the community help keep that crime rate down low, the strong investment in community policing. But it's not simply the work of the police, it's really the work of this community. I think anybody that lives here recognizes what an incredible place we're in, how our neighbors still care about each other, we look out for each other. This is an incredibly special place, especially in the times that we live in. It's part of the reason that I wanted to come here, and I'm happy to be here.
To me, it's interesting to look at the statistics and then find out the story behind them. And as you refer to, almost every graph that I can remember that I looked at it from your recent report of crime statistics over the last 10 to 15 years, consistently, it's this trend, illustrated clearly. It's a downward trend. I'm curious, have you spoken to officers in your department saying, why is this? Why have we been able to go from this point to where we are now, where it is, compared to Spokane, a much lower crime area?
It's a significant investment in community policing and having an open dialogue and being able to police the community in the way they want to be policed. It's recognizing those issues that matter and having early interventions often before they're even crimes. It's that obvious investment. It's that connection to the community. It's investing in the community. It's finding early intervention strategies. It's not just fighting crime after it happens, it's really truly addressing root causes and staying connected to the community. It's that strong investment in community policing that keeps Boise what Boise is.
We talked about statistics and talked about recent events, and when I think about that, I just think of the most common question we've got about the situation is, are we safe? Is this something that we can expect to happen again? And I know you don't have a crystal ball and you can't tell us what any member of the community could do at any time, but overall, the community wants to know from you, are we safe? What is your answer?
It's an incredibly safe community. Overall, incredibly safe community. I can't emphasize that enough. Every crime trend points that it's not only safe, but getting safer. We're committed to continuing to make it safe. You're right, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't always predict what's going to happen in the future, but we are going to do everything we can to position our police department to best serve this community to keep it as safe as possible if another crisis ever occurs.
There's a lot of data points that you published recently, and I'm curious, is there one that is most meaningful to you?
It's the subtlety in the data points. I think it's easy to sit down and look at this downward trend of crime and to say, oh, well, that's a success, and just chalk it up as a downward trend in crime. It's the story behind it that is maybe more the anecdotal data point. It's knowing, the little stories that I've heard of the officer that spends the extra time to reach out to a community member, or it's the occasional note that I get sent to the chief's office about the police officer that helped the visitor or the tourist that was here that was lost. It's knowing that the people that serve the Boise Police Department are not just serving the community, but they're part of the community. It's that heart of compassion and caring that's there. It's that story, it's that data point that maybe isn't always there in the numbers that matters the most.
So to me, it sounds like there's a direct correlation from your perspective between the conduct of your department and your officers and the data points. Is it as simple as that?
At its base, it's that simple. It really is. If we approach our job with a mind of servant leadership, if we approach it with compassion, we're engaged, we understand that what are the problems that concern the community, we're working to address those, and we prepare ourselves to be professionals for those worst case events if they happen, it's 100% the recipe for success.
All right, Joe, so a lot of people see our population graph going this direction. It's surprising to see that the crime rate going the opposite direction. Now, granted, this is just for Boise.
Correct.
And there's a lot of areas outside of Boise, immediately outside of Boise, and even wider scale that we haven't seen these numbers from yet. But
Right. And I think in Boise, to be clear here, this isn't to say, Brian, that the Boise police is perfect and they're doing a great job at every single thing ever. The point here is to say that the Boise police is doing their job, doing community policing, and the numbers are there. And I know we see all the concerns from our community members after the incidents last week say, this is not my Boise. This is not the Boise I know. Is this turning into something? Are we going to have a Boise that is much different in 10 years? And those are very fair things for people to ask and to wonder about after such, a traumatic incident, a shooting at the Boise Mall. That's a big deal, and people are still processing it. But at the end of the day, you need to look at the numbers and the full story. Yes, this very traumatic thing happened in our community, but overall, as the data shows, and you heard from Chief Lee, we're in a pretty good shape. And as you heard the chief say, this is a safe community.
Yep, and again, it'd be interesting to see what that statewide number and that statewide trend looks like.
We'll look into it.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Yeah.